Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network. Let me know if you can hear us, please. I'm not sure. And Andy, I hope you can hear me too. So thank you guys for joining. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's live. I'm Comfort, your host, and of course, I'm very happy that you've joined us again. And if you are new here, Andy and myself and a host of us will discuss around a business opportunity that is open to everyone and anyone, including you, if it's your first time coming here to listen to us. And for those who are coming back, those who are returning, Andy and myself will appreciate you so much. So tonight we are diving into a topic that I think speaks to all of us. We wait in anticipation. And of course, Andy is here to share his insight about this whole topic. And we would also like you to share your thought in any of the YouTube channels you are watching on. We run on 3 channels, myself, Andy's, and Colin's Manners YouTube channel. So let's go to work. Andy, welcome.
Hi, Comfort. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Anticipation. Now, I know Comfort says we wait in anticipation, but I'm going to go a little bit further because I normally do. I like to push the boundaries a bit, as you well know.
Go
so, yeah, anticipation. What might we, I stress, might we anticipate? Okay. We know from what happened first time round and where we got to first time round, that we had a product that was $100 a month, and that was the OCONNECT, which we're all well aware of how it works, what it does, the fantastic additional extras that were in there, and the fact that it uses AI technology to be able to ensure that people can be on the call, etc., because it sends it bandwidth. We know that for with the cost of that previously, we're gonna see some changes. But let's say, for argument's sake, that the cost of that for the vast majority of customers coming on board is $100 a month. Now, we know for the first customer that you take on in previously, we got total return of that contribution, so we got 100% of our money back. Now, I don't know if that's still going to be the case or not, so I'm going to take that out of the equation for now. What we do know is we are anticipating 25% in commission. So that means for every customer you take on board that spends the £100 a month to make use of this value for money product. Now, I'm going to say this value for money, I'm going to say it several times, but let me go back one. We know that before we were paying $125 odd a month for OCONNECT, but that included access to 10,000 attendees. Now, as I've said before, these figures may change, so don't quote me on these, but I'm just going to give you examples. So in comparison to other organizations that offer video conferencing, we know one, for instance, charges $6,500 a month for 10,000 attendees, as opposed to what we had, $125 a month for 10,000 attendees. So there are likely to be thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of customers that will come on board to make use of this. But we're going to say that a customer is going to pay $100 a month. Now, therefore, with the commission involved, that's $25 for us as affiliates. In other words, if you've got 100 customers, that's 2,500 income a month. Okay, now I'm going to go back through the figures that we've got in the UK. So I'm sorry, Americans, your figures differ very slightly, but for us, our average pension is less than £1,000 a month, and we've got millions of pensioners in a position this year that they might not be able to pay to put their heating on because of the cost of living has gone up, etc., etc. So what would 2,500 extra a month for you in your pocket do for you? Now, that's more than twice the average pension in the UK. That's 100 customers. Now, how many customers, to put this into perspective, how many customers have we potentially got in the marketplace that would use or could use a video conferencing platform? Well, we know how many that our rivals have taken on, but there are just under 6 billion people that use the internet. And since COVID, the vast majority of companies have moved across to utilizing video conferencing as opposed to people going into the office. So this is an expanding market based on what's gone on. And if you've got a product that is not only value for money, but far better and with far more add-ons than others, then you're going to get people taking it on board. Now that's one product, and that's going to be paid on a monthly basis. So the commission or the affiliate commission is going to be this monthly scenario. Now, the company is going to have far more products than just that one, and you could have in 2 years' time 30 products. But if you've got a customer that's taken on that one product, liked what he's seen, and then finds that you've got other products coming out as well. Now, some of these might be paid annually, some of these might be paid quarterly, some of these might be a one-off payment, end of story. But even so, you've got 100 customers that might buy additional products, creating additional commissions, even if they're annual. Yeah, and it's another 100 a month times 100 a month. Yeah, you've got 10,000 total, 2,500 coming in a year on top of the 2,500 a month. That it all adds up. But why stop at 100 customers? So the anticipation for me is we've got this situation where we know we've got value for money. We know we've got superior products. We know that the price is going to be in a position or a situation where customers are going to look at this seriously from a point of view of in competition. The competition is far more expensive than what we have, and in my view, for a far less superior product. So we're going to take on these customers that are using existing systems, and we're going to take on a huge number of corporations that have maybe, 100,000 employees. Well, 100,000 employees are then going to sign up. Whether they pay for it or not is a different kettle of fish. The company may do a deal, but at the end of the day, we have this income coming in. So I need 100 customers to get more than twice the annual pension in the UK. What else would you like to know, Comfort?
All right, I think I would like to digest this first. So guys, tell us in the comment section, what else would you like to know while Andy is still on fire? I just want to comment because this is how I learned. I am not a techie guy, neither am I a figures guy. I am just some plain person saying plain words, which can be really boring. But then when you listen to Andy, you learn. Right, now you have an idea. That is what takes us back to the topic. We wait in anticipation. We wait in anticipation because there's something to look up to, because businesses have come and gone. I'm not sure we've seen a model like what Andy is demonstrating here. Let's remember that whatever he's saying here, it's not written on stone. It's just for illustrations purposes. That's why he says he's not sure. It could be more or less. It could be different from what we knew shortly before we shut down all of those. But then it's painting a picture of what we will be seeing, even if it's not the exact picture. It's something looking like that, so promising, so different, and what makes us not to be happy, not to be excited, you know. So when we say we wait in anticipation here, I cannot say figures, but from my own perspective, I think about when I hear what Auntie is saying, it gets me excited. People have tried so many things and they have failed, or they've got a very little something, maybe break even. They work for years to finally hit a break even and stuff. So if we wait in anticipation, what do? It's an opportunity now to evolve, to grow, to get transformed, to transform our mindset, our physical being, and everything, and get ready to receive this and form and create even stamina, because it's going to come like a kind of shock wave or what, because this is what people have not been having before now. That's why everybody's so excited. People have waited for 6 years and they're still ready to wait for a few more months or weeks or years to come, because this is going to happen and it's going to be totally different. So let's use this time. Let's just be excited. You know, like you hear even Ash from his sayings, everything he comes out each time he comes, he says a thing that leaves us really with hope and anticipation, because we know he says, I am still here, still wait on me, I'm not gone. You know, like he says, great things never come from comfort zones. Waiting can feel sometimes very uncomfortable, but the discomfort is where we find what growth, we find strength, and we find the ability to make the most out of the opportunities that are on the way. These are huge opportunities. These are opportunities that will make our dreams fulfilled and empower us so much that we'll go and make other dreams fulfilled, given what Andy is illustrating here. Who else should not be anticipating? Who else should not be excited? You know. So, guys, if you have any other thing, Andy, I'm not sure if you're checking the chat. If there is a question or anything people would like to know, let us know. If not, Andy, if you have any other thing to add, why not go for it, bro?
I'd like to come back to Amina's point here, and let's put this into perspective, guys. 100 customers. Yeah. Just 100 customers provides a very, very healthy income. As I said, what she has mentioned there is that 100 customers is family and friends. Now, you and I, you've heard me say this before, I have no doubt. I'm a lists guy. So I write lists. But if you think about it, and you sit down and write a list of all the people you know, and I mean everybody that you know, you should have 500 odd names on that list. And if you can't get 100 customers out of 500 names, then there's probably something wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, the company is going to help. I just want you and me, personally, I want to get there sooner rather than later. I don't want to have to wait for the company to do all the work for me. I'm going to do something. And I'm going to want to reach my target sooner rather than later. And I think you will all agree, I don't know about you, but I don't like working. I sure as hell don't like working for somebody else, because at the end of the day, I'm putting money in somebody else's pocket and I'd rather put it in mine. And I've done that for so long, I'm sick of it. So my target wants to be achieved sooner rather than later. Now, thankfully, I have my own business now, and OnPassive is that a large part of that. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to that point very soon. And in the meantime, I have been working on other things, but I set my business up. So I've done the preparation for this. I've prepared myself for what is coming, and I've prepared myself. So I have my lists, and believe me, I've probably got somewhere in the region of 10,000 names, not just 500, because I've worked on this for some time. And those 10,000 names, they'll all get an email at some point in the future. But 1%, that's your 100 customers. Yeah, 1%. So, like I said, my suggestion would be to write down everybody you know. And then you can break it down into different lists. So some that have kids, some that have kids at university, some that are self-employed, some that work for large corporations, and so on, so that you have a specific target for each product. Now, target is probably the wrong word. These are people that you know, and I'm not suggesting that you go in with a hard sell. I'm simply saying, when you're in passing conversation with these people, it's, by the way, not sure if you use a video conferencing platform at your work, but I've found this absolutely phenomenal one. Might be worth you checking it out, because I know it's value for money, but it has a lot more features than most. Now, that's not selling. That's nice and easy, nice and simple. And as I said, if you've got 500 names and 1 in 5 say yes, there's your 100 clients, your 100 customers, and your regular income, which, by the way, will not stop growing. So, yeah, hope that helps, Comfort.
Exactly. You just ended with what you said earlier on, and I wanted to pick on it. And then it's like you were reading my mind, because earlier on you talk about an ever increasing or expanding market of this whole business we're in. And now you say the income will never stop coming. So what we need to know here is, if you know Andy, you know that he's a lists person. He will make lists and pick up every name that he has, even, do a research and find out, who did I ever know that I need to know that has to be on this list. Yeah, if you want to do that, good and fine. The fact that this market is expanding, the fact that income will come in uninterrupted and so on, does not depending on you making lists. But then, why not make it? Because that is what they call the near, is it the I'm so bad about this, the low-hanging fruit, right? I always like mangoes, but I come from a country where there are a lot of mangoes. If you know the low-hanging mangoes, where even my 6-year-old boy can just set their hand and plug it, why not harvest those? And the low-hanging fruit here is your immediate family, your extended family, your neighbors. Because like back home, we have some people who are just, some families down the village, they're just fortunate to have a family member in the city. Another one is more fortunate to have a family member living in the diaspora. There are some of them that are just by themselves. They have nobody and nowhere. If they have struggled and maybe sponsored one of their children up to advanced level, that is the fruit you should harvest first. Say, come, dear brother, because we are all brothers at this point. Come on, I want to do this to you. You will not only sponsor yourself to the university and wherever you want to go to, you will be do that and still be able to take care of mom and dad. That's a dream. That's a dream. Listen, you have changed the life of a whole generation, from wherever to wherever. So it's quite easy to make these lists that Andy talks about every day. Me, I have things like that, Sometimes you think about friends who were growing up together. I had a friend who was actually more than a sister. The only thing we did not have together is blood, but any other thing, she was my sister. As I speak, she's struggling with mental health issues. She has 2 children. She's living wherever she is, and children are the other way. I'm not able to help my own self. I speak like this with tears in my eyes. I'm unable to help my own self, and she is there. I need to help her or help her children. I can't. So this is that opportunity where, if it's coming now and you are not positioning yourself, getting ready, so that when time comes, you go after your friend like mine, you go after your neighbor like the one behind your grandmother's house who has no family anywhere at all, and they don't have any hope in anything. So we just need to live in anticipation, in excitement. We just search our minds, search ourselves, search everything, and make sure that we are ready for this business. We are ready for prime time, because the moment it's hit the ground, we are just like ready to go. So we really badly need this time to get ready, because the education we're having too is building us into maturity, into knowing how to manage finances, into deal with people and stuff like that. Andy, I cannot say figures, but this I could go from this other angle, and I think that's what I have to say.
Yeah, Comfort, I think what's his name? Daniel has made a point that I think is interesting. Daniel, what I've been explaining is as if you start from scratch, as if you have no customers. I'm saying all you need to get an income of $2,500 a month is to have 100 customers paying $100 a month. And that is, as I said, these are guesstimates based on past regarding OCONNECT. But write your lists. I'm starting from scratch, and I'm viewing it as if I'm starting from scratch, so that I have to get my 100 customers. Yeah. Look, some of these guys like Marty and like Red and many others have got quite a few customers in their group. They've got affiliates in their group. I don't have that situation to the same degree. So I view it simply as this: I'm starting from scratch, and I need to find myself 100 customers. Now, hopefully those customers at some point in the future will become affiliates as well, because then they'll buy into everything else along the way. And that's one way of looking at it, certainly from friends and family's perspective. But, you know, I wouldn't worry about starting from zero. Is the same. It's the same for everybody, and those numbers that I've based it upon is simply starting from zero with no customers in your customer base. So, you know, let's take it from there. Now, there are other hidden extras that we don't know about, but let's make this nice and simple. Use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, I want 100 customers paying $100 a month. I've got an income of $2,500 a month. Simple as that. Okay.
Yes, Andy, thank you. I'm happy you brought this clarification. And I just want to add, I know that we've been watching Marty do figures the past couple of weeks as well. And everything too that he is illustrating is not different from what Andy is saying. What he is illustrating there is based on the fact that you don't have anybody at all. So sometimes what I know is that sometimes we worry a bit too much. We worry about what is mostly Ash's business and not ours, because we know that why Andy is saying we should make lists. Listen, I once said that, and I will say again because it's been long I've not said this. If Andy is sitting here, Andy has not told his friend or his brother about this business, I will tell him. I will tell your brother Andy, he said, listen, I have this business. And then he comes over and then he becomes my partner. That's just what we're talking about. If you have a brother, a friend, a neighbor and stuff, tell them. You are not telling them because that's what will make you succeed in this business. No. So whether you have somebody or not, that one as of now, it's irrelevant, to be fair. It's irrelevant because our success does not depend even on the people we brought earlier on to join. It just depends on the fact that you are ready for business. Because if you have those people lined up behind you, I have a few as well. I don't have so many, but I have a few that if they were to be actively involved, I could make a little something to just from the beginning. But how many of them migrated? How many of them are even up to date to where we are now? How many of them will not doubt when we're ready for business and business is already running? So our success depends on the moment we get back on our feet and business is running again. I think that's what I think, Andy, that's where our success will actually really begin. Because anybody who joins from them, if you listen to Marty, he says the real people who will make millions and billions in this business, they have not joined yet. Because those who joined, and especially when you call yourself a founding member, they took it for granted. They are not seeing it. But people who are looking from a distance, they are seeing it and they are getting ready. They just want to wait that moment when they say clang, the bell is gone, the doors are open, business is running. That is when we will see, and that is when you go to your OES, you don't recognize it anymore because figures are just skipping. I'm not sure, but I think so, Andy. I really think so. So go on and say whatever you have so that we'll gradually start.
Absolutely. No, I think this time is perfect to think about this. You know, not everybody uses a list, but everybody knows a lot of people. Everybody knows a lot of people. So at least you can do is write down all the people that you do know, because that's a good starting point. Yes, the company's going to help us to build our businesses, but get there sooner, guys. Get there sooner rather than later. I think, you know, take the time and make sure that you are ready for what's coming. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's so true, because this is a great example here from the Great. He says, yes, I know as founders we are waiting for the commercial launch of OnPassive. So lots of companies are waiting for OnPassive products, which is going to serve as live resuscitation to so many companies. Also, imagine, close your eyes and imagine any company at all. When they call something a company, that thing is big. That company, because Ash leaves it open, that company hits the button, they hit the button, that company falls under you. You are gone. You are grown like overnight. You don't know who is going to be your customer when we start this business. So what we're waiting for is yet to come. It's not what you already have. It doesn't matter how many you have. The real thing is yet to happen. And when it happens, we all will be there, and the world will know my name. So, Angie, one quick closing remark, and we're gone out of here.
Like I said, everybody has a different process that they want to go through. But as I said, if you just think of it this way, if I need to speak to 5 people to get 1 customer, you need to find 500 names of people you can talk to. In a nutshell, plain and simple. There's your 100 customers.
Exactly. Yeah, somebody's saying, this is Julius Agbo Taco. That's from my country, I think. So he says, we need more of your assistance, please. So many are blank. Some founders were brought in as downliners and not educated enough for business. Andy, can you clear this downliner thing before we leave, please? I know we're done, but we cannot be done and leave somebody with this.
Right, I wouldn't call it a downline. It's not a downline. There were 1.4 million early birds, should we say, and these people were given an opportunity to get into or become part of a business before the business launched. Okay, now we launched, and obviously we don't really know what's gone on in the background, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that we've seen some form of industrial espionage going along based on what our CEO is trying to achieve, which unfortunately these things happen. But bottom line is the things that we can tell you is that we know that there is a 25% commission. We think that there will be a bonus based on your group, but I don't know how that works because it's never come into the equation. So take that out of the equation. That to me is simply a bonus. I don't need to know about it until it's ready. My focus is I need 100 customers spending $100 a month, and I get $2,500 a month. End of. Okay, so forget the download of the downline scenario. I'm into software and downloading software now, aren't I? Forget the downline. Just concentrate on yourself. Yeah, concentrate on looking and work as if you have absolutely no one within your organization. Whatever, it doesn't matter whether you've got 0 or 100,000 in your organization. The fact of the matter is that this is your business. You need to start somewhere, and the concentration here is 100 customers. End of story.
Exactly. So I think if Angie has explained this, in other words, I just want to say this because I think that I should say it. One thing about this downliner thing, I've never done multi-level marketing, but what I know is that you do share profit. When profit comes in, they share from those lines until they go up and down the pyramid. But with OnPassive, it's quite clear. There's no downline thing because If you bring me, if Andy brought me in, if Andy sells a product and makes a profit of $25, he is keeping his $25. And if I make a profit of $25, I am keeping the whole of my $25. They don't share it with me and Andy because I'm his downline. No. So I think I understand that that is what the downline thing is for those who have done other schemes, but then that's not how OnPassive functions. Whatever profit you make is your profit. They don't distribute it amongst you and your team. That's why we're different. So everything is fine. Let's keep waiting in anticipation. Let's get ready for the greatest shape of our lives. Let's just do what the 2% that Mr. Mufara thinks that only us can do, and let him do the rest. Get your list. It's very easy to get a list. Your cousin and cousin's cousin, brother's friend, and all of those people are looking up to you. Put them here. Do whatever you are doing, and let's go. So thank you, Andy, for joining. Thanks, everybody, for your great contributions. And tomorrow, I'm going to be hosting Anita Olsen. She's been away for quite a while, and she's very excited to join us back tomorrow again. So do well to remember to be here. Remember to subscribe on our YouTube channels, click on the bell, and let's do this together. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.